So I spent last week putting together script and getting the right sound files so I could do an episode that showed how it wasn't nearly as hard for Biden to win re-election as people were making out. Woke up Sunday, looked at the notifications on my phone, and said, well, that really fucks up my plans. Let's fucking go. The road is about it. Let's fucking go.
Hey, poor! Hey, poor! Hey, poor! You don't have to be poor anymore! Jesus is here!
The loudspeaker spoke up and said, Christianity is stupid.
Powered by Adrenochrome.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude, located not far from the Redneck Mecca. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is seated beside my chair, demanding attention as soon as I stop petting him on the head. Lord Squeakington glared at me from underneath a neighbor's car the other day. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy and his cats. Get over it. And this is a news show episode which would have been all about how it was not nearly as complicated as they were making out for Biden to win re-election. But that's all moot now. And I do not have anything else prepared. Because I have been fucking sick. Saturday night, because we had to work overtime, I was coming home from work, and my stomach was bothering me. Now, I didn't think too much about it, because, well, I have irritable bowel. I had also tried out this new Jamaican restaurant that had opened here in town recently. If you've ever had food poisoning, you know that the saying about it. The first time you get it, you're afraid you'll die. The second time you get it, you're afraid you'll live. So I thought it maybe could be that. Or just that I hadn't eaten much besides that meal that day. That was what was causing me the problems. So, get home, get myself something to eat, get partway through it, and I'm like, I am really feeling bad now. So, I get, I'm going to bed. I decide, and I'm like, let me just go ahead and drag the trash can by the bed, so if I have to get up and start hurling, I don't have to worry about stepping on Fuzznuts in between getting to the toilet. Oh, I spend all day Sunday in bed, just in the worst pain I've had in a very, very long time. I mean, my abdomen was painful as hell, and it was hard for me to breathe or get up and go to the bathroom or things like that because I was just in so much pain. And literally all I would do is, it's like, okay, get up, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, go back to bed. Lay in bed, just either, drift in and out of sleep because I can only sleep for so long because I'm in so much pain. And then I, and that's how I spent all day Sunday. And Monday, I get up, and I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit better. I think I'll go to work. But I need to run a couple of errands first before I do that. One of the things I do is I go get a heating pad because, I'm like, that'll help with my, I put that on my stomach and that'll help, maybe that'll help me feel better. They have nerfed heating pads. Because when you turn the thing on, they used to have one. Back before the turn of the century, they had like 3 or 4 settings on them. And you tick, 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 tick. Well, now they only have one setting, and it's warm, but it cycles on and off. And I just needed the heat constant. I didn't, because about the time my stomach would start to feel better, the heating pad would cycle off. And then it would cool down to almost nothing, and then it would kick, would cycle back up to having some heat. It's like, and I couldn't find a hot, and I had also looked for a hot water bottle, and I couldn't find one of those, which, at least with that, I could get it really fucking hot, and then when the heating pad had started to cool down, I could slap the hot water bottle on my belly, and by the time that cooled off, the heating pad would have probably started warming back up again, and I could have just alternated. But no hot water bottle. I bought some ibuprofen because I think I was running a fever. I don't know. I was in a lot of pain, so I really didn't. A lot of pain, not a lot of sleep. I don't know what was going on. I know I was really sweaty at times, and I know that I was kind of dehydrated. I got all this stuff, and I'm like, I get back to the house to drop it all off, and I'm like, I can't go into work. I just can't. Because I'm in too much pain. And the other thing I was worried about is, they tend to put you on the same machine for 3 days in a row before they move you off another machine. Well, the job they had me running Saturday night, I had to do a lot of squatting. I kind of thought that that might be what caused my, abdominal pain, because I had to squat in a really weird position, when I was working on the machine at times. And I was like, maybe I just pulled a muscle. But I don't know. And so I called out Monday. And other than eating a little bit, I spent it all the time in bed. So I go to work tonight, and my plan is, well, if they stick me on that same machine again, I'm going to tell them I can't do it, guys. I'm having stomach problems, and I have to bend over, and I just can't bend over. But they didn't put me on that. They put me on a different machine, and that one wasn't too bad at all. I didn't do a lot of bending, so that was fine. I don't know what was wrong with me. I just, I've had something like this once before in my life. And it was before the turn of the century. I was working at McDonald's. It was was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college. And we had this real shithead of a store manager. And here's why he was a shithead. So I am sick with this, whatever it was. Like I said, it's, massive, it was abdominal pain. It was really bad. What that time was not quite as bad as this, but it was still pretty close. And I'm like, and it's like, I'm supposed to work. I can't come in. So I call and, I said, I can't come in. I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. Thrown up. And he's like, well, maybe it'll pass. I'm like, no, man, it's not going to pass. I am sick, man. I don't, and he's like, well, if it does, you should come in, just maybe come in a little late or something like that. It's like, no, man, I am fucking sick. I wasn't quite that explicit with him. But I was just like, you have got to be fucking shitting me that he has that kind of attitude. What I didn't realize as a naive 19-year-old was that, lots and lots of bosses were like that. They just don't care that you're not feeling well. They want you in work. And, of course, I'm like, and the thing you have to think about is, say I've got a virus. I could be infecting your other employees and your customers. Well, of course, if we had universal health care, I could have gone, either back then or now, to the hospital and gotten treatment for it. But because we don't have universal health care, it wasn't anyway. I was either back when I was in college or now was I going to go to the hospital. Because even with insurance, an ambulance ride is $1,000. Which means all of this is a long-winded way of me saying that there's not going to be an episode. Because I didn't have time to prep one, and I'm still tired and fading out from whatever it was that I had. I mean, I'm not as in bad of shape as I was, but I'm still sore. So, I think you can understand why this is all I can do right now. If I don't have to work on Saturday and I'm feeling better. That's the phrase I'm looking for. If I'm feeling better, I will get some kind of news episode out. Because before I got pissed off and was going to do the episode on, how it's easier for Biden to win than people think, I had a bunch of other stories that I was thinking about doing, but I just ain't got the brain power to tonight to do it. I don't know if I'll have it tomorrow night or not. And we'll just take it from there. As Bogey said, I never make plans that far in advance. Y'all make sure to vote for Kamala. Okay? There's a lot to be said there, but for right now, we'll go with that and support universal health care. All right, I'll talk to you you soon.
That's it for this episode of the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes. It's also on Stitcher, and most of the episodes are on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter at tparkatheist, and it's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist. You can email me at trailerparkatheist@gmail.com. Show notes can be found at tparkatheist.blogspot.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to donate to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker.
The podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fosnuts.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.